Welcome to the WHS Cinema Club podcast. Today we have a very special Christmas episode, a bit of a pajama episode too, because it was our last day before winter break today. So today we're going to be talking about Elf.
Hi.
Your costume is pretty.
Oh, it's not a costume. I'm an elf.
Oh.
Well, technically I'm a human, but I was raised by elves.
Which is one of my favorite Christmas movies, and also I know you guys like it a lot too. A little intro to the movie. It came out in 2003 and was directed by Jon Favreau. For anyone who hasn't seen it, the story centers around one of Santa's elves who travels to New York to meet his real father upon discovering that he is a human. It quickly became a Christmas classic that families enjoy year after year. So today we're going to be talking about Elf. What do you guys have? Do you guys have other experience with the movie? What do you guys think about it just right off the bat?
Elf is the best Christmas movie ever. It's just my favorite one. I think it's the most enjoyable one. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of great Christmas movies. There's Home Alone, there's Charlie Brown Christmas, but Elf is just, I feel like it's so funny. It's a great one. There's a bit of romance, a lot of happiness, a lot of comedy, and also a lot of heartfelt moments, which is important.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. I think it probably is my favorite Christmas movie just because, yeah, like you said, it's got a little bit of everything. I've watched it every year, like ever since I can remember, so I really love it.
I'm a little bit of a Scrooge. I don't really enjoy Christmas movies. Like, I'm not an avid Christmas movie watcher. There's no movie that my family or like me personally watches every year. When I was younger, my favorite was Polar Express, which no hate to Polar Express, but it's a little bit of a bland choice.
It's a classic.
But
honestly, it scared me as a kid.
Yeah. But I got to watch Elf last night for the first time with the friends, and as far as Christmas movies, it was pretty good. I'm not a Christmas movie person, but that one was good.
Yeah, I think Christmas movies in general, they definitely contribute to a lot of holiday traditions. I know we were kind of just talking about it, but do you guys have any other Christmas movie traditions or Christmas traditions?
Well, my family, like I mentioned, the Charlie Brown Christmas movie, every single time it's Christmas, my stepdad likes to play, I think he has a record of it, is like the whole album to the Charlie Brown Christmas movie. And he just plays it, we get up, we open presents, we eat food. We don't really make any specific food, but it's like, you get up, you eat food. But then nothing too crazy. I don't have a bunch of traditions, but I do, spend time with family, have a good time.
Yeah. Okay, for me, we do not watch Christmas movies, like I mentioned. But I always try to push traditions on my family. I'm like, we have to listen to music while, like, putting up the Christmas tree. But we do have, like, a lot of weird things. Like, my mom has an extensive snowman collection that we have to put out every year, and it's a whole week situation putting up all these little snowmen. Besides that, one thing we do is we open our presents at Christmas Eve. Like, all of our family, instead of Christmas morning, we open all the presents on Christmas Eve, which I don't know if it's normal, but a lot of people I tell are like, that's weird.
When I had like Christmas with my dad, we would do like one present on Christmas Eve and the rest of them were on like, and I think it's usually just like pajamas.
We got pajamas and a book. We could open pajamas and a book on Christmas Eve, and then we can spend Christmas Eve reading, and then we got to open our other presents in the morning.
That's
I love that.
so fun. I mean, everyone's Christmas is different. That's really fun.
Exactly.
It looks different on everyone,
Yeah. So getting back to Elf, what do you guys think has made this a classic? It came out in 2003, but obviously it's still very relevant. Everyone loves to watch it year after year. So what do you guys think like makes it like that?
I mean, it's hilarious. It's definitely something you watch and you don't forget about. It has the best vibes. I think when it comes to holiday movies, if it's something that's just like a Hallmark, you don't really get attached to it because it's not that good, but the writing was really fun. It's a great story, and it's something that everyone can enjoy, all types of families, older kids, younger kids, parents, grandchildren, anyone. Anyone would enjoy Elf. I mean, it's just hilarious. And then it's also so heartfelt, and I just think that's what makes it a classic. It connects to people.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many different plots and relationships between the characters that is so easy to, like, commercialized, like
Yeah.
between like the love parts and like the whole dad part. Like I feel like they put so many parts in that were so easy for people to resonate with and enjoy.
I think one of the other things that made it look really ageless was the practical effects they used. For anyone who's seen the movie, you know that Buddy the Elf is very big in comparison to all the other elves. And in 2003, they could have used CGI or something to make it look like that, but it wouldn't have looked very good from today's standards. And the director knew that when he made it, and so he used a lot of forced perspective and things like that that are super fun and make it look not as old and with weird CGI as it could have. So I thought that was so interesting that they used forced perspective throughout really the whole movie to make it appear like that. So I thought that was
I feel
so
like
cool.
You don't really see that in that many movies too, especially Christmas movies.
Yeah.
That well made.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it contributes to the fact that it's just a timeless movie.
Yeah.
You can watch it at any time and enjoy it.
So Leia, you were talking about how it has a lot of good themes. What do you guys think are the best holiday theme parts of it? I know for me, I really like the romance aspect of it is so fun, but then there's also a lot of character development throughout it that really gives it that Christmas kind of vibe. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Jenny mentioned something about like all the different relationships that they have, and I think that Elf having a relationship with his little brother was really cool, because it kind of shows like it's kind of like it's weird, obviously, having just like this random guy show up saying he's an elf and he's a part of your family, and for some reason they go with it. But he's able to have this relationship with this kid, and it shows that, you know, no matter how old you are, you can have fun and you can play around and you can still be really cool.
Yeah, I feel like the whole family theme, like in general, was definitely my favorite part personally. Like Leia mentioned with the little brother, I really loved that part, and I just feel like it's very special to have that in a Christmas movie.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, Christmas movies are all about family.
Yeah.
They are.
It's, I think, because you celebrate your family so much when you're during Christmas, like that's what it's about. Like most people, if you ask them, what is Christmas about? They're going to say it's about family.
Yeah.
Some people are going to say it's about all those presents. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Figgy pudding?
A Christmas ham? It could be about anything, but the main thing that brings people together on this holiday, and even people who don't celebrate the holiday just in this winter time of year, is family, and that's awesome.
I also love one of my favorite parts of the story is kind of the comparison between the North Pole and Buddy the Elf and New York City and everyone kind of in the real world and how kind of sad it is and how serious it is. And then there's that kind of comparison of Buddy the Elf coming in and he's so lighthearted and like childlike and everything. And at first it's not met very well and he's kind of it's not received well. But then as it goes on, he's able to kind of introduce that holiday spirit to other people. And I thought that was really heartwarming. Do you guys have any other favorite scenes? Because I know I have a few.
I love just like the whole beginning with like Papa Elf and all the other elves. Them like him not knowing that he's human is hilarious to me because I feel like it's so obvious.
Yes.
But he didn't figure it out. I mean, and they grow like the elves grow like a lot slower. So like what was Papa Elf, like 140?
Yeah.
And he was like still a kid. I just thought that was so funny. It's just like this giant man acting like a child.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm a very big movie crier. You guys both know
Yes.
this, but every movie we watch, I cry. Elf was not an exception. I did shed many tears. I looked over, Leia was asleep, and I was falling. But the whole movie, I was like, they just need to know. They need to know that Buddy is actually an elf, and they don't know.
They need to know.
So the whole time I was so upset. But when they finally found out that Buddy was really an elf, and they found Santa's sleigh, my heart was
Christmas
warmed.
spirit.
It really,
Yes.
it made my Christmas. It really did.
It did.
I love the scene where everyone starts singing the
Yes.
Christmas carol. That is so sweet.
Yes.
And I also, when I was a kid, used to love the sugary spaghetti scene because
yeah.
that was.
It looks okay. I will say I would try.
Oh,
So would I.
would try. Would you
I
try?
have to be honest.
I would not.
As a kid, I definitely really wanted to give it a try. Maybe now I would.
I think
would take some more
honestly,
consideration.
Those noodles just look good. Like, I want some of that
Yeah.
spaghetti. Like, you can hold the syrup.
Hold
Yeah,
the red
like-
sauce
oh.
at the syrup.
Oh, I forgot about the red. Oh,
No, I want the red sauce. It looks good. I was like, I want to eat that.
yes.
Buddy's obsession with sugar is so funny.
Mhm.
And it's a lot like any kid.
Yeah.
Kid, we love sugar. I mean,
Mhm.
that's how it is.
I also thought it was so funny that his dad worked at a kids' book publisher, but
Yeah.
the whole office environment was so serious and everything was very dull. And then you learn about what they're actually doing, and it's something that's so exciting and lighthearted for kids. And I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell has said that he will not be in any other sequels and he doesn't want a sequel to be made. Why do you guys think he would have said that? Why do you think he would have?
I just think
Thought that.
it's so classic.
Yeah.
And it's so timeless that there doesn't really need to be another one. It was something that was great. It brought people together. It still does. Like, I don't think that people haven't stopped watching Elf. And making another one, it just wouldn't feel the same.
That's what I thought too. I thought that a lot of movies, they're really successful, and so when they make other sequels, it just kind of feels like they're trying to capitalize off of that
Yeah.
and
Right.
make more money off of it and take the story somewhere it didn't really need to go. I know we talked about that a little bit in some past episodes of whether or not sequels feel necessary, but I feel like that's definitely a good call to kind of leave it off where it ended and
Yeah, leave it in a good spot.
yeah,
I definitely agree between like the already existing commercialization of the whole movie and the original movie. I feel like they just know it would be too much for a second movie also.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just think it's such a good movie. I mean, it's a classic. It's like, would you make a sequel? Well, I guess they would. Never mind. People will make a sequel of anything these days.
they really will. If you guys did see a sequel, what would you want to happen in it? Like,
Ooh,
what would you think?
That's a good one. I think I would want to see, like, obviously, Elf found his girlfriend. I don't remember her name.
I was just trying to
It was
remember
like-
too.
Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe Deschanel, yes. Lonnie from Surf's Up. But I think I would want to like touch into their relationship more. Like, how did that work out? Because obviously you have someone who's not like mentally of age, just because he grew up thinking that he was younger than he is. And then you have someone who is, and she kind of like liked the childlikeness of him, and they were able to connect. But like, could that relationship go further? Like, how would that work? I think that would be interesting. But I also think that's one of the reasons why we shouldn't have a sequel,
Yeah.
because that would never work. And then they would just like ruin the magic, you know?
I think one of the other things about maybe a sequel not working is just the circumstances under which this movie was made, because it was made back in the early 2000s. It wasn't going to be a super big production. And a lot of the scenes were actually improv, and they were just, it makes it so much funnier to know, like the scene where Will Ferrell was just running around, was it New York, or they might have filmed it in Canada, where he was talking to just strangers. I recently found out that was just improv, and those weren't actors. They were just random people out and
like
about on the street, like
You mentioned while we were in the car earlier, the guy in the red tracksuit who looked like
yeah,
Santa.
that was just some random guy. That was not an actor, and that is just so funny to me.
I can't imagine that happening to me. And like the guy in the red tracksuit, he acted so naturally.
Yes.
Well, he was probably like, what?
Or the scene where Buddy is testing out the little Jack-in-the-Boxes.
Oh, yeah.
The director had a little button just to push them at random times, so Will Ferrell was actually very surprised.
I'm not gonna lie, a Jack-in-the-Box scares me every single time.
Me
it goes
too.
up.
I don't know why that would be a fun toy
never know
for
what to
children.
expect.
Absolutely not. I would be
Absolutely.
terrified.
You have to think of the time. But like I feel
2003, all they did was just scare kids.
Nobody likes a Jack in the Box unless it's the burgers. You know
I've
Jack
never-
in the Box?
Do they have those here?
I don't know.
I have never had a Jack in the Box.
It's really good. It's tasty. I love it.
I feel like Will Ferrell is actually just a child at his heart, and
It's
I feel
true.
like he was the perfect person for the role of Buddy. I feel like he is Buddy, and he knows it, and I love that for him.
He knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of my other favorite parts was more in the beginning, the stop motion claymation with all of
Yeah.
Buddy's animal friends. That part I love so much because it kind of, especially watching it as a kid, blurs the lines between like cartoony and like really fun, lighthearted Christmas movie, and then when he gets to kind of New York and it being the real world and stuff. But that's one of
Yeah.
my favorite parts, especially visually, just seeing like the live action mixed with the stop motion is so fun.
I think it kind of creates the illusion that like maybe like where Buddy is, like the North Pole, is like more imaginary.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting and goes back into the sequel thing. Could there be a sequel if maybe like the point of the movie and like this whole story is that Elf is just there for like the time to bring it back that Christmas spirit, and maybe
Yeah.
like, I don't know, is the North Pole still real? Like, can we still confirm, is Santa real, y'all? What do we
Is it
think?
real?
What do we think?
100%.
Santa's real. What are you guys
How
talking
else
about?
would the presents get there?
Yeah.
I saw Santa's
Yeah.
sleigh.
Slay?
So our last piece to end on is Elf the best Christmas movie? What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is an easy yes for me. I do love my Polar Express. Polar Express will always have a little part in my heart. Sometimes I remind myself of the annoying kid from Polar Express, and I think that's okay for me. But
Right.
Elf, a 10 out of 10 for me.
As I have a question for you guys. As a kid, did you ever have situations like did you ever have to meet Mall Santa, and what was your reaction?
I remember seeing Santa would usually fall on my birthday for me because I have November birthday, a late November birthday.
Right.
And I remember not wanting to see Santa at all. It would be I wanted to pretend because everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's your birthday, you should go see Santa. I was terrified. I didn't want to go because then we'd have to stand in a really long line, and by that point I was trapped. Like I couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a fan. What did you guys think?
Did you like sob in your picture?
I didn't. No, I was never sobbing in any pictures. I was always smiling, but on the inside I was very afraid.
Yeah.
So, I never met Santa as a child, but I did meet him a couple years ago at my fully grown age, and it was amazing. It was amazing, guys, and I totally recommend it. If any of you have not seen Santa yet, he's real.
I went to
Maybe
IKEA
I
the other day
have.
and Santa was there at the
IKEA?
IKEA. At the
Yeah.
IKEA food court,
At the
Santa was there.
Santa Claus.
Santa's
Claus
everywhere.
himself.
Santa's in New York City in a red jumpsuit.
It's true.
Santa's at the mall, at the IKEA. Santa's everywhere.
Santa is everywhere.
He
it's
gets
true.
around, and we love him.
That could mean something. Santa's in our hearts. He's everywhere.
He is.
I think as a kid, I never. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sure I have when I was like really young, but I don't know. But I do remember going into the mall and like having like my brother or someone being like, "Leia, do you want to go see Santa?" And me be like, "No, no, ma'am, I do not. Not my thing."
No.
I think I was really scared. The Easter Bunny was scarier though.
That-
The Easter Bunny
I
at the
can't
mall
even
is
get into
terrifying.
the Easter Bunny. My
did-
parents used to take
never
bites of
s-
my carrots.
Oh my god.
I've never seen the Easter Bunny at the mall before.
Not at the mall, but we did
We
have
did
an
see him
encounter
at
with
the
the
park.
Easter Bunny at the park one day.
He came up to us in a golf cart.
The-
Said hi.
If
Yeah.
you are the Easter Bunny and you're out there listening to this,
Hi.
Where you at? But yeah, holidays are amazing, and right now we're in the winter holidays, and they bring people together in all different kinds of ways, and they bring family together, which is something that we totally see in Elf, which is really cool. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's great. Family and friends also. Whatever.
Friendsmas.
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 We're doing that this year. But yeah, especially holiday movies really bring people together and make you happy and excited for the season.
Yeah, just like that one part in Elf where they all started singing.
Yes.
That was awesome.
That, going back to talking about our favorite scenes, that scene, as we're speaking, like I'm trying to hold it in, but I keep thinking of more and more scenes that I loved so much.
Right. No, just like talk about it. We want to hear.
Okay. Now that you're asking me, they have left my mind, so I think we're gonna
We're gonna move on. No, yeah, that scene with them all singing, it was really heartfelt, and it showed that, anyone could be brought together through the spirit of the holidays, Santa Claus, the magic. I feel like it's something magical that, like, everyone, no matter what age, can connect to, which is so cool. And you get, like, in holiday movies, you get to see that. And Elf was just so great, and we saw, like, with certain effects that you mentioned of Elf kind of, like, he was taller than everyone else. Like, it made it magical.
Yeah.
It's just that Christmas magic, no matter how old it is,
Of course.
I definitely wish I would have watched the movie younger, because it would for sure have been my favorite. It would have been my family's favorite, and that could have been a tradition.
Yeah.
I could have pushed, so.
You could have.
But I will now. I will now to the newer generations. Elf will be their favorite Christmas movie, and I'll make sure of that.
You'll make sure of that.
Yes. We need more comedy Christmas movies. I feel like
do.
haven't
My
seen a whole lot.
Polar Express not funny enough for you?
I'm sorry,
It's my mom's favorite. She loves it. But you know what's a really good Christmas movie? Everyone go watch this. It's on Disney Plus. Good Luck Charlie. The Christmas movie. Best Christmas movie ever. That was the one, like, if I grew up with a Christmas movie, it was the Good Luck Charlie one. I don't even remember what it's called. Like, what is the specific
Good Luck
name?
Charlie Christmas special? Is it like a 2-episode special, or is it a movie?
No, it's a
It's
movie.
a movie. It's a whole movie. Cloud9.
Never seen
Cloud
that.
9.
Cloud9 Disney.
I've
Cloud9
never
Disney.
seen that either.
What are some of your guys' favorite winter activities?
Definitely sledding. Definitely snowball fight. Definitely hot chocolate.
I am a big skier. I love skiing. I'm taking the girls skiing here
So
soon.
We're gonna learn.
Excited.
We're gonna learn. I'm
So-
snowboarding.
I'm gonna fall a lot.
Favorite winter activity, skiing.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I would say my favorite winter activity is sledding, but I think soon it'll be snowboarding. Like I feel like it's gonna be something I'm really into.
I've never sledded. I
to go
have a
sledding.
hill in my front yard that I used to ride a janky snowboard down, but that's about as far as I got with the sledding thing.
I used to make my
Yeah.
own out of cardboard and duct tape.
My parents are from Kentucky, so they used to live in a holler, and naturally they would ride car hoods down the holler. So
That is great. Well, I've so enjoyed sitting down with you guys and talking about holiday movies and the holiday season. To anyone who hasn't seen Elf yet somehow, you have to watch it. It's one of our favorites. So I hope you guys join us next time.
have great holidays.
Have great holiday seasons, and we'll see you guys next time.